Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Scream, and welcome back to the channel for more Destiny 2 news and intel. And today's video is going to be centered on the farm for this week's Nightfall, which is the Psiops Battleground Cosmodrome, and how you can get it completed in the GM difficulty in order to farm out the new rocket sidearm, the Lotus EATER, the first Void rocket sidearm. But first, I did want to just cover all the weekly reset information, as well as all the new glitches that you can find in Act 2 of Heresy, which also launched today. And there is one really interesting one, which we're going to cover first. But I also just wanted to also update everybody. We have, of course, Guardian games arriving this week. It is a new Boss Rush playlist, so an upgrade to Guardian games, I think a much needed one. And that, along with the Court of Blades, the new upgraded Court of Oryx, which is launching with the new story mission, I think will give players plenty to do. So if you're looking to get into Guardian games, you'll first want to head over to Eva Levant, and you'll have a new class item to pick up, and then you'll be able to pick up the bounties as well as all the cards. We have a new weapon available, the new trace rifle. And remember that trace rifles are heavily favored in the meta now because we have a whole bunch of new artifact mods which are also built into trace rifles, so definitely work on picking that one up. As I said, we also have the new Court of Blades over in the last city, right below the Nether. This is another boss rush activity. And the most interesting thing about today's reset, and if Bungie is posting about this, well, then get ready for the servers to be taken down again, even though we already had quite a bit of maintenance at reset. But that is because all of the challenge modes or contest modes for the 3 dungeons are already in the game. So the contest mode for Prophecy, as well as Ghost of the Deep, as well as Grasp of Avarice, these were also not supposed to be launched until Act 3, are already in the game. Interestingly enough, also we have 2 XUR'S treasure hoards, and if you click on the one to the right, you'll notice it's actually the Hall of Champions from Into the Light last year, I believe. So I'm not sure what happens when I launch that, but maybe I'll try that towards the end of the video. But this is also giving you all the new rewards, though interestingly enough, it doesn't seem like the weapons are loading into the game properly, or at least maybe they're supposed to look like this, but I wasn't aware of that. So have fun farming this while this glitch is active, because this was 100% not intended. So like I said, if the Bungie servers go down again, it's because of this. So have fun. If you can, get the new versions of these weapons. So this is the entirely new upgradable version of the weapons. Like we're going to be getting, I don't even know when. It might not have even been until this summer. I'm not totally sure specifically when these were supposed to launch. I thought it was Act 3, but in any case, very interesting glitch. The strike for this week, as I said, for the GM Nightfall as well as the normal Nightfall, is the Psiops Battleground Cosmodrome. This is a short one in how far you actually have to travel, but it can be a very long one in that a lot of the rooms that you're going to be going through are very packed with ads. So I would say it's one of those battlegrounds that I dislike just because it doesn't seem as though the areas that you're traveling through were made to accommodate so many ads, as there's a little bit of overrun. But I will, at the end of this video, include a run-through of this Nightfall on GM. It's from a previous season, but all the glitches and cheeses that you can use in this particular Nightfall will still apply. And if you're a hunter, you are going to definitely profit this week, because hunters are going to have the easiest solo options, and if you're in a group, definitely have a hunter with you for certain portions, especially towards the boss fight. But I'll run you through that as well as all the little nuances and things you want to know about this strike towards the end of the video. Quickly, I just wanted to also head over to Commander Zavala. And as I said, this week we will finally be able to farm out the Lotus Eater sidearm, the first Void sidearm that we've had. If you can get the GM Nightfall Strike done, you'll get the Adept version of the Lotus Eater. I think any form of this weapon is going to be amazing. The God roll apparently is Repulsor Brace as well as Destabilizing Rounds, at least for PvE. But you can let me know if there's any other rolls that you think are good or you might be chasing in the comment section down below. Remember, any comment on the video will give you another entry into the next giveaway on this channel. We do one every 1,000 subscribers, so you never want to miss out. When we reach 100,000 subscribers, we'll be giving away a new console or a video card if you play on PC. Over at Eververse, really quick. For this week, we have a whole bunch of new cosmetics I just wanted to run through really fast. The Winged Victory package is also free. I already picked this up, but this is a free item available this week. I believe it's one of those new trailing cosmetics that you can get down for Bright Dust. We also have some other interesting things. Nothing for a exotic weapon this week as far as an ornament is concerned, but some interesting emotes, and like I said, that free item. And then over at Banshee 44 for this week's loot, remember these rolls do rotate, so check them daily. Sometimes they seem to stay the same, but sometimes they tend to rotate. And unfortunately, we don't have any enhanced weapons this week. We have a few deep sight activation weapons, so you can craft them, but nothing enhanced right out of the box. So that doesn't seem to be a guarantee. Seems to be RNG. So always pick up an enhanced weapon when you do see it for sale. And now we're going to head into the actual Nightfall Strike. My buddy Divine Lord Sinister joining me in the tower, looking very cool in his Guardian Games outfit and his new free cosmetic trailer. I'm not sure if exactly what you would call that, a glow. I call it a trailer because it trails behind him. We're probably going to be running some Nightfalls and farming out as many Lotus Eaters as possible. So I bet he'll be streaming some of that at some point this week. So make sure to tune into the live stream. If you see the Twitch link pinned in the comment section, it should be the top comment. That's to Sinister Stream. That's where you'll find me. It is also double Nightfall rewards and double Vanguard ranks this week, so there's probably no better time to farm out the Lotus Eater than right now. You are going to be getting a ton of loot and a ton of chances on rolls, so definitely jump into the Nightfall at any difficulty this weekend. But now we're going to head on to the actual Nightfall gameplay. As I said, this will be helpful for a regular Nightfall run, a GM run, or a solo run. So keep that in mind, though I would say if you are planning on running this Nightfall solo on any difficulty, a Hunter is going to be heavily favored. So just keep that in mind. The Invis is really good, especially for the boss. So I did speed this up a little bit. And as I said, this is from a previous season, so the meta is definitely going to be a little bit different. If you have a Rocket Sidearm already, either a Tenacious Mastery or a Indebted Kindness, they are going to be excellent in this particular strike this week. The Tenacious is probably going to be the best thing, as you will not need to really worry about the unstops, as the Stasis will help with that, and the Rocket Sidearm will, of course, get through the barrier champions. But this video is going to be for overall strategy. So in the first area, definitely play range. You can hide sort of on this side, but you want to try to take out that brig at as much distance as possible. And the key thing to note about this area is there's a tendency to want to move to the right side of the map, as that is where you'll be provided the most cover. But This is sort of a farce in that there is a couple of ads that spawn on the right side, specifically on the ceiling of this right building, right along the ledge, that will not die. They will continue to spawn in no matter how many times you kill them. It is a Hive Knight and a Hive Wizard. I believe they are yellow bars. So when you get to this area, which is sort of the bottleneck, you'll probably face a few unstoppable champions in this area as well that will rush through this bottleneck. Just make sure to not shoot anything on the roof directly to your right. There will be a Knight and a Wizard there. So long as you stay generally up against the wall in this bottleneck or to the left, if you get rushed, you should be fine. You won't take damage from them. However, if you shoot any of them or kill either one of them, they will continue to spawn in and they will head over to this side of the bottleneck. So versus staying all the way to the right by where the ledge of the map is, they will move over into this little hallway and shoot down on you, and that will ruin your run. So anything that is on the roof to the right of that little hallway or that bottleneck, do not shoot. Now for the next room, which is probably going to be the room that takes you the longest, as there is, I think, 5 or 6 waves of ads, which will include champions, of course, in this room. And there's a couple of methods in order to do this room. The safest is just to use the door, as you see us doing here, but it is certainly not the fastest. And I would actually maybe recommend against using this method this season, or this episode, or act, however you like to refer to it as, because I think we actually do have enough firepower with Prismatic as well as the other rocket sidearms that you could use to actually move into the room. And you're going to want to stand on the back left corner of the room, basically in the direction that I'm firing right now, but directly to the right. There's a pillar that stands between the door that you will be exiting out of when you finally complete this room and the right corner. You want to stand in the far right corner of this room, just right of where the door is where you exit. You'll probably see me run through that area. It's sort of just behind where this champion is that I'm killing now. And I'm sorry if this is sped up too much, but I did just want to run through it. So if you stay in that area, generally you'll be able to, one, have a better vantage point of the room so you can actually do more damage and dish out a lot more firepower quickly. It might not be quite as safe, so if you are doing a solo run, this is the general area you're going to want to stay. You might want to try the door method, but I think also if you're a hunter using tether, you're going to be able to basically just keep all the mods, again, bottlenecked in that one area near the sword and near the door. This next area you want to be a little bit careful with because I think a lot of players get caught out. There is a Lucent Hive in the back. They are one of the ones that throw the shields, and those shields can hit you from a very far distance. And if they hit one of your teammates, it's essentially going to hit all of your teammates. So even though it's only a couple of ads and one Lucent Hive, just don't play any games and stay on the back side of the bridge where you saw us shooting and just play range with that particular ad, and you should be fine. Now in the boss room, you can actually stay on the back platform as you spawn in. You will, of course, get kicked onto the actual main platform where the bosses or the shadows of Savathun are going to be spawning in, but you can then jump back onto this platform. You might get a turn back timer at the very bottom of the platform if you're on a hunter, as you kind of have to jump across the platform on a lower level. There's a slight rim around the lower level of this platform and then jump up. But once you're up here, you should be fine. You might not get a turn back barrier at all. For the other classes, for the Titan and the Warlock, you'll have a much easier time jumping up. But this is where you're going to want to hold out until the actual Lucent Hive boss spawns in. And then that's when you're going to want to have one of the hunters on your team, once the Lucent Hive boss has been thwarted and moved off of the actual boss platform and the Ghosts of Savathun spawn in, jump down, grab the relic, which is the spear, and then come back up onto this platform and generally just stay in the backside of this platform. You can see, again, there's a small rim that goes around the top of the platform. You can actually duck behind that. There's also some pillars on either side of the platform that you can duck behind. And if you are running this in a group, know that even though you can't do damage to the Savathun ghosts, we'll call them, you can still aggro them by shooting at them. And this can be very helpful to the hunter, or if you don't have a hunter, whoever's running down to grab the spear, so that they don't get aggroed by the boss. It will give them a little bit of relief, and they'll only have to really worry about the ads that are already on the platform. And if you can take out as many of those as possible before they actually jump down, that's probably the best method. So again, just stay on this platform, generally in the back, until the final boss phase, where you'll have the 2 Ghosts of Savathun spawn in on either side. For that one, you can, again, go down, jump back up once you've grabbed the spear and do damage from here, but you're going to be taking shots from both ghosts on either side. So there's a couple of methods you could use for that. I still would probably recommend just coming back here, throwing down some healing, and if you have teammates, of course, then just narrowing in on one ghost at a time. Or you could jump to this side. Everybody grabs a spear and just try to nuke the right Ghost of Savathun quickly, because once you have that one down, the one on the left side from this vantage point will not be able to really attack you. So if you are running healing, this is going to be the time to do it, but you could also just take your time and again do it the same way. The players who are on the platform behind you, if you're one of them, you will just have to take a little bit of extra care, because you will have, of course, the boss on the opposite side of the map shooting at you versus just the one. If you're a hunter, it's really going to be the exact same thing of grab the spear, head back to the platform using invis. So if you're a solo player, that's why the hunter is really going to be the #1 class for a particular solo run, especially on the GM difficulty. And the lower level difficulties, you're probably going to be able to get away with a lot more, just because we have Prismatic. At the time that this clip was recorded, we actually had not had Prismatic launch yet, so this is sort of a real old school run. So things might be a lot easier now, and this farm, who knows, it could be really, really quick. I was actually very surprised last week's GM, which was another Battleground, was much quicker than I thought it would be. So hopefully this keeps with that, and it's actually a very efficient farm, but it will be a better farm overall, just because we do have the double Nightfall rewards this week, as well as the double Vanguard ranks, and you will be ranking up quite a bit if you're doing any level Nightfall, but especially if you're doing the GM. And that is going to conclude all the information in today's video. Hopefully you found something in this video helpful. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. As I said before, remember, any of those things will also enter you into any future giveaways on this channel. We do one every 1,000 subscribers, so you never want to miss out. When we reach 100,000 subscribers on the channel, we'll be giving away a new console or a video card if you play on PC. You can also follow me on Instagram. It'll be linked in the description box down below. I don't know if I said that before, but if I didn't, you can. One of the better ways to get in contact with me. Also, remember to tune into those live streams. That's another way to talk with me if you are interested. If you've watched to this point in the video, you can also leave a hashtag Nightfall or a hashtag Heresy Act 2 in the comment section down below. And one more thing I did want to mention before we actually depart today's video is that you can always use the rejoining allies glitch. Now, this is sort of a bonus on today's video. If you don't know what the rejoining allies glitch is, I don't mention it as often as it's specific to groups. You need at least one teammate while running a Nightfall or any strike in order to do this, but it comes in handy in GMs if you find yourself in a precarious situation where maybe you're the last one on your fire team alive. You can have either one of your other fire team members leave the game entirely. Make sure that they're not the leader, of course. This would involve going to your home screen, whatever you're playing on, be it PC or console, and quitting the game directly from the home screen or from your Steam. That would actually close the game out, but would still keep you in the game as far as the game is concerned, and it'll seem, to the game at least, that you were dropped versus you actually just left. So when you sign back into your account, it has to be on the same character. you will be able to load back into the strike without actually having lost a revive, and you will be able to self-revive at that point. It'll be as though you were dropped from the game, and because Bungie has a drop forgiveness, if you accidentally get disconnected, you'll be able to load back in at no cost. Now, of course, that's only if you have at least one teammate, but it's another good thing to know. So, as well as either of those other two hashtags, if you leave a hashtag joining allies in the comments section down below, I'll really know that you watched all the way to the end of the video. And that is going to conclude, once more, finally, all the content today. So much stuff. There'll be more videos on the way this week, so be on the lookout. I'm sure I'll do something regarding Guardian games or that new dungeon contest mode glitch, if that's still around, or possibly on, of course, Court of Blades. So be on the lookout again, as I said, for all those things coming this week. And once more, I'm Wilhelm Scream. Thanks so much for watching, as always. And of course, we will see you next time. Little